Hope all is well with everybody. Welcome in. We're gonna get started. My shoulder is itchy. That dry winter air has definitely taken a hit on my body. But I put my coconut oil on and got my things brewing for me to make my like herbal oils and things like that, because I definitely need something stronger during the winter time. I'm also been using shea butter because that winter chill is real harsh on my skin. I know that a lot of people have that issue as well. So like my shoulders, like in here, especially from like if I wear like a bra or something that's like strappy, it'll leave like little, like I have these, in a way it's like these like tiny little scratches from where it rubs against my skin, and it's already winter, and the body is not liking all this cold and what it's doing to my skin and the dryness. So it's just a combination of things. So my shoulders are kind of itchy. So if you guys see me scratching specifically this shoulder, it's really itchy right here and in here. And that's exactly where my straps were from my bra. So but how's everybody doing today? I hope all is well. I hope that you're having an amazing weekend and you are rested, or you are resting today, so that way you can get back at it on Monday if you have work this week. And if you don't have work this week, thank goodness, thank the Most High, and I hope that you get plenty of rest if you do celebrate the holidays. I do not celebrate the holidays, but first of all, everybody should be rested and everybody should have time off, whether it's from work, if you just need rest from kids, family, whatever. You deserve a break. It's the end of the year. I know it's a really weird time for people because people are wanting to eat healthy. They're wanting to feel good, to look good. They're also wanting to eat good. They're wanting to be with their family. And so there's so many different conflicting scenarios and situations that you can be in nowadays, in this time of the year. And I don't want anybody to go into the next year thinking that they have to, first of all, start on January 1st, or going into the next year thinking that, well, I've done all this work over the year and I messed up around the holiday, and so I might as well just stay with what I've been doing, which is eating terribly or not working out and etc., and thinking that you have all of your work thrown out the window because you decide to enjoy yourself this week. Because if you've been trying to eat healthier or eat better in general and be healthier, or try to be consistent, and yet you still feel inflamed, you feel exhausted, you feel reactive, hormonally off during this time, it's going to be harder not only for you to make those better choices, but to also to stick with your plan if you're already feeling like it's not working, if that makes sense. And so it's not about a personal failure or that something is wrong with your body, but it's about that clarity. It's about that gap between what you're doing and what your body is needing. And for you, you need the intention to close that gap, to make those connections, to have a foundation that supports the body. Because a lot of people don't know how to close that gap, nor do they realize that there is a gap in between their health journey and their consistency versus them being hormonally off and inflamed, because you're thinking that diet culture is supposed to support you, right? And so you calorie count and you restrict. This is the way that you eat healthy. This is the way that you do better for your body. But when you're calorie counting and you're restricting and you don't have enough nutrients on a day-to-day basis before you even started doing the diet, your body goes into panic mode because it does not know how to react to you not giving it enough calories. Because not only are you not getting enough nutrients every single day, but now you're starting to restrict the amount of calories that you get. And so you're starving. Your body is hungry, and it's more than just normal hunger of you eat something and in 30 minutes you're hungry again, but it's your body literally saying, I don't have enough nutrients already. And since I don't have enough nutrients already, now you're restricting me from calories, and I'm telling you that I'm hungry and you're not responding to it. Panic. There's something wrong, because why are you not feeding me? I already don't have enough nutrients, so we're on survivor mode there, right then and there. And then now you're telling me that you want me to go down to 1,200 calories a day when I need the 2,000 because I'm barely getting enough nutrients with 2,000. Do you see how that can make the body panic? And there are millions of women who are dealing with the issue of confusion, feeling heavy, the unpredictable mood swings, and feeling like they're living outside their body, or that their body is fighting them. And yet you just keep trying harder to do a different diet. You keep restricting more. You're managing your symptoms with prescriptions or doing surgeries, having these procedures, and never getting to the root cause of why this is happening to the body. This is a space that we don't preach perfection, that you do it all in one day, that you do it all correctly. And if you do it all correctly, it's all going to work out. Because perfection is something that we have in our brain to think that if I'm not doing it correctly, if I do mess up one time, all of my work goes out the window. It's not about the extremes. It's about the consistency. It's about you understanding that it's not an outside thing or a separated source inside of your body, but it's all connected. Understanding how the body actually works with itself, how the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys, the gut, all of these flow and they work together. Your brain is not a separate connection to all of these aspects and organs, but it's something to know that your habits, the foods that you eat, your internal system shape how healthy you are, shape how your days go, shape how every single day and you wake up with no energy or you wake up with energy. It's all shaped by how you know how the body operates and actually make those connections to what the pain points that you're having and making them, I'm trying to not making them your reality, but making yourself conscious in your current reality, because so many people are on the space of being in fight or flight mode and just making it day by day. And so you aren't in your body having a real experience, but you're having an out of body experience because this is a trauma response. And a lot of people don't understand that when you're feeling like your body is disconnected from you and that you don't have a way to get back connected to your body, besides you giving yourself that dopamine and stimulation of emotional eating, watching TV for you to be able to de-stress and things like that, that is a coping mechanism that comes from trauma, stress. And that trauma is coming from the habits that you have. You've been subconsciously training yourself or consciously training yourself subconsciously to do these things when you don't feel good. You go through a breakup, you eat ice cream, cake, and cookies, right? That's a trauma response. Because when your first thought is, I've had a hard day, let me go in here and get cake and ice cream, that's not just something that you look over because you're deserving of a sweet treat because you've been working hard, you've been working out, you've been doing good. That's a trauma response that your body is saying, hey, I'm overworked and I'm stressed out. But you don't make those connections to understand that you need to deal with that stress in a different way, in a healthy way. So instead, we emotionally eat to give us that dopamine response that allows us to be able to feel good right now and hold on to that so that we go to sleep and we wake up the next day. And then when you wake up the next day and you're fatigued or you've been up throughout the night because you weren't actually able to rest because your blood sugar is too high, you're going back and forth to the bathroom, that is a sign that you were irregular, dysregular in the body while you were trying to rest and reset. And instead of your body being able to reset throughout the night, it was having to keep you alive. So instead of your blood sugar being regulated and being balanced and your body being balanced, your blood sugar was spiked and was having to expel too much sugar. And none of your body can rest when it's trying to compensate and to fix what you have going on. So for the women who wake up tired even after sleeping enough, or you feel bloated and inflamed even after you're eating good, or even when you calorie count and restrict, or rather when you fast, this is a sign from the body to let you know that there's something irregular and it's not being supported by the habits that you have. Experiencing intense cravings for sugar and they feel uncontrollable, and you're trying to figure out what to give yourself after you've eaten a full meal so that you can get that sweetness out of that sweet taste. So that way you can get that sweet craving out of your brain, out of your mouth, and it's driving you. Dealing with irregular cycles, painful menstrual cycles, or hormonal imbalances, mood swings, this is a sign from the body that you are not connected to what it needs. Feeling mentally fogged, having the emotional reactivity every single month. And PMSing is not something that is normal. It is common and we've given it a name to make it norm, but it is not normal. Feeling burnt out all the time, because a lot of people think that their burnout is coming just from their job and maybe even family if you have children and etc. But a lot of your burnout is coming from the foods that you eat, and you're not realizing this because you're burnt out from the fact that you have never been giving the nutrients that your body fully needs. Full nutrients, not just a little bit of here and a little bit here, but an actual full day of eating what your body is needing. A lot of people have never felt what the body feels like when you give it a full day of actual real food that supports your energy, that supports your blood sugar, that supports you in feeling comfortable and not being bloated as soon as you eat. A lot of women stay strong on their health journey in the beginning, and then you fall off, whether it's in a week or two or a month or etc. And you're sitting here thinking, why doesn't this work for me? Or it's not going to work for me afterwards when you fail. And it's not because you cannot take care of your body and do it and be effective with it, but it's the methods that you have that aren't giving you the clarity that your body is asking for. No one explains to you that hormonal imbalance and inflammation doesn't just come from one bad choice. It's a pattern habit. It's a pattern from habits that layer over time. That's why I say that it comes from the conscious first and then goes to the subconscious, because it is years of you throwing off your body and being dysregulated. So your internal system is overworked, and then it leads to your outer system looking the way that it does, whether it's you being bloated, whether it's you having acne, whether it's you not having enough energy in the day-to-day basis and you aren't able to go work out after work, you being stressed out, you looking aged. When you're under supported and you're misunderstood internally, that's what happens to the body. When you are not fully supporting your internal system, the external system suffers. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. How are you guys doing today on this Sunday? A lot of women are confused in the health space and diet culture in general. And so when I bring up, or like we talk about eating plant-based, your first thought is, only thing I have to eat is plants. I have to cut out meat. What am I going to eat? I'm going to starve. And oh, so just to be vegan, that means that I have to cut out all the foods that I enjoy. But what you have to understand is how food impacts the body. So this is why I say when you are going into the space of being healthy, you have to eat more fruits and vegetables more than anything. Because when you start to understand how food impacts the body, you'll see how your energy is gained back. You've done diets of eating meat and dairy and etc. and calorie counting and restricting, and yet you still were suffering through that process, whether it was a lack of energy, whether it was you starving all day, or you just in general being uncomfortable, because this is not a comfortable space to be in, and it's not a uncomfortable space from growth, but it's an uncomfortable space because your body is having a fight or flight response because this is a traumatic experience. A lot of people don't understand that. When you are lacking nutrients and you put your body in a calorie deficit and you're already starving, and then you ignore the signs that your body is starving, this makes your body have a trauma response to healthy lifestyle, healthy eating. A lot of you think that when you're doing diets and when you're eating healthy, that salads are the way to go. And eating salads all day is the only way that you're going to be able to lose weight and to look good, lose those 20 pounds in 20 days or whatever else. But when you are not eating correctly and you are also in this trauma response, this causes your body to go in an inflammation state. So you're doing more damage than good. And so you're going to have the issue of you're going to lose that 5 or 10 or however many pounds, but your body is already in fight or flight mode. So yes, you're going to lose the water weight and maybe a little bit of fat. But as soon as you go back to eating and eating the way that you were, or going back to the amount of calories that you were, your body's going to hold on to that. And it's already in an inflammatory state. So the first thing you're going to have and a repercussion that you're going to have is bloating. And then you're going to be sitting back like, man, I was doing so good. I was looking so good. And now you're bloated and you're thinking that, oh, I just ate too much. So now you start restricting again. Maybe you call it fasting. All this does is spike your blood sugar, which makes you more inflamed. So it's a full circle that you're feeding your body inflammation until you go back to that diet again and you lose the 5 to 10 pounds, but now you've gained 40. And so now you're trying to catch up to that 40. And then you do it again and now it's 50. You do it again, now it's 60. Do you see the process? Because this is what when I talk to women and work with women who do Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, keto, paleo, or whatever else, this is their response. This is their outcome. You do the diet culture and you look good for the trip. You do the diet culture and maybe you look good for your wedding and etc. But then you wonder how you gain 30, 40, 50 pounds in the next couple of years. And it's all because of this whole cycle of you being imbalanced and you causing inflammation every time you try to take care of your body. And then you flip back. And then you try to take care of your body. And then you flip back. It's not a disconnect, but when you're eating the foods that you need, when you're living a plant-based lifestyle, you can leave the inflammation from behind. You're not going to be depleted every single day, and the hormonal dysregulation is going to stop. And even during the times where you feel like maybe I haven't eaten the best, maybe I haven't been giving my body all the fruits and vegetables that I need, you're still going to be in a space to know what the body feels like before and to be able to get back to it. Plant-based lifestyle is not about you removing and taking everything out that you enjoy, but it's about you replacing and restoring your health. Knowing how food is information to the body. So, what are you feeding your body currently right now? What kind of information are you giving it? If you're getting the response back, and it's just like a computer, if you are feeding your body a bunch of foods that you view are supposed to help you, but you instead are receiving the information back that is telling you inflammation, disease, illness, whatever else, because I know that flu season is here and a lot of people are sick, and you're getting this back and you're eating according to the pyramids and the plates. What do you think you're feeding your body if food is information? What do you think you're getting back? That is just like if you code on a computer and you feed the computer a virus and it shuts down the whole computer and it doesn't want to cut on anymore. You can't say that, oh, the computer just got a virus. Whoopsie daisy, I broke it. You fed it a virus. It didn't just get the virus. You fed it to it. You downloaded a link that you had no business downloading. You fed it the wrong code and it was a virus. Something you did caused the information overload that caused it to break. But if you give it the code that helps it build it up, and now you built a new program, or even yet you advanced your computer, you fed it the information that it needed to thrive. So do you understand how food is information to the body? Do you see how we throw our body off by the things that we feed it? And so when you are off, when you're feeling bloated, when you're having the painful menstrual cycle, the irregular cycle, when your inflammation is high, what information are you feeding the body with food? Because when food is used without intention, and even if it's healthier food or healthier options, it stresses out your liver. It spikes your blood sugar. It's going to cause inflammation in the gut because it's throwing off your gut pH. And you're going to be draining the adrenal glands because they are having to compensate to try to fix the hormonal imbalance. This is why clarity is more than just labeling yourself as somebody who's doing keto or paleo or Weight Watchers. It's more than just labeling yourself as a vegan. It's about understanding how you impact the body with what you're eating. Knowing the internal system and connecting those dots of how the body breaks things down with your metabolism, or you slow your metabolism down so it can't break things down. Your body is not a collection of separate different problems and separate different parts. It's all an ecosystem that works together. And so when the gut is, for first of all, the gut is responsible for absorbing. It's responsible for your immune system. It's responsible for hormone healing and supporting your body in getting enough nutrients, supporting the body in absorbing nutrients, using nutrients. But when it's inflamed, nutrients does not go where it needs to go. And when it can't get to where it needs to go, now you have a hormonal imbalance. Now the adrenal glands are pumping out more estrogen, and now the estrogen is storing inside the liver. The liver processes those hormones. It processes toxins and inflammation to try to expel them from the body. But when it's overloaded, estrogen backs up. So now you're estrogen dominant. Your fatigue increases because the liver is constantly working. A lot of people don't understand how much damage they have done to their liver over the years from the foods that they eat, because you are constantly overworking the liver every time that you eat, every single day. The weight becomes stubborn and you feel like you can't get rid of it, or when you do get rid of it, it comes right back and you're trying to figure out why. Your mood shifts, so now you're super irritable all the time and you're thinking that you're just stressed out, but the irritability is coming from the lack of nutrients and the overworked body that you have. And all of this is coming from the foods that you eat. And so then now we have to look at the pancreas, because the pancreas is the place where diabetes is going to come and manifest and to thrive in. So when your blood sugar is spiked, when it's not regulated, the blood sugar is unstable, it's going to lead to cravings. Your cortisol is going to be high. And then you're going to have anxiety because the brain and the gut are directly connected. So we already talked about the brain being off. And then you're going to have all of these stress hormones being pumped from your adrenal glands. And it's going to throw off your liver, your pancreas. Your pancreas is trying to compensate and to figure out how to balance your blood sugar. And it's causing anxiety, panic attacks, depression. And so you're thinking that you just had a hard week, a hard month, or whatever else. And that's the reason why you're anxious. But a lot of it's stemming from food. You're having energy crashes and you can't pinpoint why. And the adrenal glands naturally respond to stress hormones. So, emotionally, physically, and mentally, they're all pumping out hormones to try to compensate what you have going on emotionally, physically, and mentally. And when it's overworked, the body stays in survival mode. Now you're in fight or flight mode. And a lot of people have been in this space, specifically, or fight or flight mode, for years. Since you started actually eating real foods, since you were a young little tater tot of 5. And the brain interprets all of this dysfunction and decides whether the body is safe or completely stressed out. And when it decides this, you know what the brain has to do to compensate when it says, yeah, you're stressed out? Okay, I'm going to cut off your function in the gut, because at the end of the day, you don't need to be digesting right now. What you need to be doing is figuring out how we can get rid of this estrogen. Ooh, I'm going to store all the toxins that you come in contact with now inside of your fat cells. Because that's what it does. It stores toxins inside of your fat cells. So now you're inflamed. Now you're uncomfortable and you're bloated. This is why inflammation and hormonal imbalances are so common, especially in women. And when you're feeding your body just junk or just food to fill it, it's going to be unsupportive to the system that you need to be building up. And now it's breaking the system down. So then the habits that you have are leading to imbalances. And this isn't about blaming somebody or blaming your body for having a reaction, but it's about having awareness so that we can get to clarity, so we can start the foundation that supports you in disrupting this cycle and fixing the problem. Habits are something that either can disrupt your hormones and your balance, or there's something that can build you up and to fix the problems that you had going on, keep you away from illness and disease, and to support you. But when you are inconsistent with meals, when you're relying on caffeine every single day, when you're sitting here dealing with the fact that you're chronically stressed out and you eat for your emotions, you're skipping meals thinking that you're skipping meals and then overeating later, thinking that, okay, well, I'm staying in a calorie deficit and I only eat one meal, or fasting is great because it's good for the body, which it is. And so you think that this is the appropriate way for you to fast. And choosing convenience rather than being prepared, whether you're out and about or whether you're at home and you're cooking. None of these habits mean that you don't care, but this is a sign that you are quietly disrupting your hormones, and this is a way that you build a terrible toxic foundation full of cracks. But when you understand that you were never taught how to build a healthy foundation and build a supportive foundation that's sustainable, and healing does not require you to have the most intense, crazy schedule to help you be able to stay on this regimen, to lose 20 pounds in 20 days, for you to be able to be the slimmest, to be in the gym being lifting the heaviest. But it requires consistency and understanding. You have to understand what your body needs first. You have to understand how the body's been operating, what space your body is in first. And then you can consistently feed your body what it needs. When you don't know how to cycle sync, when you don't know how to balance your hormones, when you don't understand how to stabilize the gut, when you don't understand how to support the liver or the pancreas or the kidneys, you're going to be consistently playing a guessing game instead of consistently supporting the body. When you are a woman and you know how to cycle sync and you support the body with the foods that you eat according to the phases of your cycle, you have consistency within that. And this is how you balance the body fully. But waiting and playing these guessing games are keeping you stuck, and they're making you inflamed. And the patterns that you see when you're waiting is waiting for a perfect time. Thinking that, well, I'll be less stressed in a month, so I'll wait in for a month, or I'll wait till I clean out my fridge. Waiting for the new year, because a lot of people are waiting for a new year. New year, new me. Waiting for you to have more motivation or more free time, because it's not coming. It's not happening. You thinking that you're going to wait for more free time and it's going to be able to help you adapt and adjust into a healthy lifestyle is just going to keep you guessing and keep you waiting, and it's never going to actually be a perfect time for you to change. When women wait, the body is constantly having to adapt every single day to the hormonal imbalances that you're feeding it or what you're causing. And so guessing doesn't heal the body. Reaction doesn't help you heal the body. You emotionally deciding that you're going to buy a course or you're going to join a program or join a gym does not help you be able to fix the problem and sustain your health. Starting over again and again after you do a diet, then you fail, and then you try again and then you fail, doesn't help the body. All this does is make you mentally think you're doing something, but all you're doing is stagnation. Even though you are changing in a little bit of a little light, it's still stagnation. The body heals when it's supported and it has predictability, when there's consistency. But when you're unpredictable when you're going to eat, you're unpredictable about what you're going to eat, and you're unpredictable about how much nutrients you're going to give it today, the body is like, I can't trust you to give me what I need. Or we are unsafe right now. And since we're unsafe right now, I'm going to have to store trauma. Whether it's in your hips, your stomach, your neck, your back, whatever. It stores and it comes and manifests itself into your fat cells as a toxin. So this is why doing the same thing and hoping for different results does not work. The literal definition of insanity. It doesn't work because you're not giving your body what it needs for predictability. But as somebody who's been plant-based for 5 years, I can tell you that my body can predict that today I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables that give me nutrients. So it's not panicking when I fast because it knows once you break your fast, you're giving me water, first of all, hydration. And then you're going to give me hydration from fruits. And then you're going to give me different nutrients from vegetables. I'm going to eat a full meal that's not just a whole bunch of carbs. I'm going to have healthy fats. I'm going to have a plethora of different foods that support the full body. This is how you give the body what it needs so it doesn't have to overwork and to try to compensate for what you've caused. Women don't need symptom management. You need a foundation. We need framework. You need a guidance into cycle syncing. You need to understand how to support your whole body and not just support your cycle while you're bleeding and menstruating, which looks like with society is birth control and you sitting here taking a pain pill or getting a hysterectomy or whatever else, some type of IUD, because they're telling women so many different things to do to manage your hormones that are not going to help you fix the imbalance, but to manage. And managing is keeping the disease or the issue, the illness, the problem alive. That's what managing is. Eating for life, eating for the body looks like you having something that is going to support each aspect of your balance so that you have hormonal balance. You have gut pH that is high enough. You have a liver that is detoxifying on the regular, blood sugar that is actually stabilized with the foods that you eat, and a nervous system that is regulated. So when you're eating more fruits, when you're eating more vegetables, when you're eating with intention, when you're supporting the body with filling the body with intention, this becomes your medicine. So you won't have to worry about flu season. You won't be sitting here talking about how everybody's sick right now, sniffling and coughing in your house because you're actually eating with intention, not restriction, not punishing yourself for being hungry, but understanding that it's not a phase that you go through of eating right for 6 months and then you flip back, but supporting the whole woman internally, supporting your whole body internally. Using food as your medicine is not a difficult concept. You just have to give yourself the invitation to actually learn something new, learn something different out of the norm, because the norm is for everybody to be inflamed and sick around this time. The norm is for everybody to eat a whole bunch of candy in October, eat a whole bunch of crap in November, and then by December, everybody's sick and you get together again. You eat a bunch of crap, but now everybody's sick after the holiday of Christmas because everybody done coughed and sneezed on each other. And now all the children are sick, all the parents are sick. It's not a coincidence. It's not just something that happens in December and January and February, how all these people get sick. It's the food. And it's deeper than just all food is poison, like they were singing the song. Because all food is not poison. The food you're choosing is poison. And they're not going to tell you that because they want you to be scared of eating anything. So that way you choose the bad one because it tastes good. But in reality, you can eat foods that support the body and it still tastes good and you enjoy. I have burgers. I eat pasta. I eat carbs still. I eat chicken sandwiches. All of these things can be made in plant-based forms. I just literally made Chinese food the other day. I made banana bread yesterday. I'm trying to think of like all the things that different things that I've made. When I tell you I've made steaks in multiple different ways. I've made chicken and dumplings. I make soups of all kinds. There are so many different recipes that you can recreate in a plant-based space. But when you bring up plant-based eating, the only thing that people think about is eating grass, eating salads, eating from the earth and dirts. And that's because that's what the picture has been painted for you. I was watching an old show. I think I said this a while ago. I was watching Ugly Betty back because that's an older show, back in the beginning seasons. And they had a vegan person on there. And I thought it was hilarious because all she was eating was a salad. That's all she ever eats is a salad. And that is what they painted us in the media for years. I never even thought about being vegan back in the time when the show came out. Like I said, it's been 5 years. And so I was watching it and I was laughing. And this is not the first show that I've seen it, but this is the most recent show that I've seen where the vegan person's always eating a salad, right? And that's the picture that they paint. For you to be healthy, for you to be taking care of your body, you're always eating a salad. And the person that they pinpoint that is vegan in the show is always the slimmest person on the show. They're always the skinniest. They're always the smallest. But it's somebody who is slimmer and smaller from what I was when I was first, before I went plant-based, 200 pounds, couldn't get under 190. It was fluctuating between that. And is now is a stable weight that have not gained weight, have not gone past. I haven't gone all the way up to 190s and I haven't touched that in a while. And I've gone down to the smallest that I have been in my adult life ever. I can tell you as somebody who hit, I think the lowest that I hit when I was doing like most of my, like, not even working out, but just doing my consistent, I was about to say fasting, but not fasting, but fruit fasting rather, because it wasn't just dry fasting or anything, but fruit fasting to be specific. I was down to 160s. I think now I might be between 160 and 170. I haven't weighed myself in a minute, but this is with me. Even when I was in the gym, I was around 160, 150s. So it's just a matter of being consistent with what you're eating first, because getting in the gym is not going to change your health. Getting in the gym is going to make you healthier, but it's not going to shift your health the way that you were needing on a healthier foundation, because you have to eat right. You can't go to the gym and eat McDonald's all the time unless your metabolism is really, really high. And even then, you're still going to be susceptible to sickness because you're eating toxins. You're still going to be eating that crap, which is not good. It's going to clog your arteries and etc. So yes, you might look good on the outside because you work out for 2 hours plus, and all you have to do is burn those calories in those 2 hours. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be hormonally imbalanced. When you get into the nitty gritty of a lot of these gurus on here on the app, and I think it's very funny because I don't follow a lot, but I do a lot of research on the app. You'll see a lot of gurus who still deal with painful menstrual cycles, irregular cycles, and a whole lot of bloating around their cycle. And it is normal to have a little bit of bloating around your cycle because you're going through different phases. But there was one creator specifically that posted a video, and she looked like she literally had the bloating from a fibroid and was saying that this happens to her every month and it's normal to have bloating around your cycle. But what is not normal is for you to have a literal fibroid-sized bloating that is caused from hormonal imbalances. And she's super small, super skinny, super fit. Going to the gym is not what's going to help you reverse what you have going on internally. It's going to help you be able to be healthier and to look slimmer and to lose weight. But losing weight is not the end determinant of how healthy you are. Because you can sit here and starve yourself all day and lose weight. There are people who have no access to food who are starving and have no food to eat that are losing weight. Is that healthy? So we have to get away from the mindset of thinking that just going to the gym is the way for you to take care of your body, because it's not. Losing weight is not the only thing that determines if you're healthy or not. And so getting out of that mindset is you releasing diet culture, because that's what they teach you. If you're in the gym and you're calorie counting, restricting, and starving yourself, this is how healthy you are. Eating a salad, you're healthy. So creating balance inside the body knows what flow looks like, understanding what the body is needing, knowing how the body is impacted with food and your hormones are impacted, supporting the gut, the liver, your pancreas, your adrenal glands, your kidneys, reducing inflammation naturally, not taking an Aleve or an Advil, helping you build and sustain your body's functions. Helping you be able to stop playing the guessing game and to start trusting your own body, your responses to your body, and knowing how to communicate with your body back, because your body is communicating with these pain points. It's communicating with you. So how do you communicate back? Because a lot of you communicate with either ignoring it or feeding it crap that it's telling you it doesn't want. And so if you are looking for a space where you can do all these things and allow yourself to flow into understanding and to support your body before January and not wait until January 1st, my Balanced Body program is here to support you, because it's a matter of knowing how. It's not the matter of how hard you work, but knowing how to communicate with the body. Not playing a guessing game in managing your symptoms, but working from structure, having clarity, and supporting the full body. And my Balanced Body program is going to give you all of these hows: how to help impact the body positively with food, how to reduce your inflammation naturally, how to stop playing the guessing games, how to build sustainable habits, supporting your gut, your liver, your pancreas, and your kidneys, supporting yourself with cycle syncing as a woman. Because your body is not broken, it's just responding to what it's been given. And so when you are ready to stop playing the guessing games, everything shifts when you stop chasing quick fixes. When you're ready to shift, you have to give yourself an invitation into learning exactly how to eat properly for the body, not starve yourself and blame yourself for being hungry, but giving you the healthy journey that you deserve instead of managing a symptom or an illness, restoring your health. And so if you were looking for my Balanced Body program and more information for that, my success stories, my story, and all the people that I've worked with and etc., go look for it. It's in my bio. You can go check it out. I have, like I said, I have my own success story on there. I've been plant-based for 5 years. Not only is that program based on what has helped me stay plant-based for 5 years, but it's also helped many other women to be able to eat plant-based meals, to cook plant-based meals, to learn how positively it impacts the body to eat plant-based and not have to have all this inflammatory food in your life. So if you guys have any questions for me, I'll take any questions that you have. And if you guys don't have any questions for me, I'm going to hop off. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your Sunday, first of all, for everybody that's here in the chat. And if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, please drop them down below. If you have, if you have any problems with any of the links in my bio, thank you for the follow, any links in my bio or anything like that are in my link tree, please DM me and let me know. The Balanced Body program will not be here next year, so you have to get in now. It is going to be gone literally on December 31st. So you have until December 31st, but I'm telling you now, you want to start now, because starting in January 1st is not the move. It's not the move. And you waiting until next year and thinking that you're going to get it all right by January 1st is just re-solidifying the fact that you don't want consistent change outside of diet culture. Because diet culture teaches you and society teaches you January 1st is the time for you to get ready to get in the gym. And then by March, none of y'all are in the gym anymore. And it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that they give you all these discounts in December to join and start by January, and then nobody's in the gym by February or March. It's really empty by March. It's not a coincidence. It's a marketing ploy, just like diet culture is a marketing ploy as well. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, or if you have not subscribed to my YouTube, go subscribe to my YouTube. Drop any questions that you have down in the comments. Look at all my playlists on YouTube. I was trying to think if there was anything else that I have. Oh, if you're not on my Wellness Wednesday email, I send out a Wellness Wednesday email every single week. I've been sending them out since last year. We did Food Fridays, but I've been sending out Wellness Wednesday emails every single Wednesday. And so we're going to continue the Wednesday emails, but I don't know if they'll necessarily be Wellness Wednesdays. We might switch it up and try something new. If not, there'll be a different type of wellness, because we've been doing more informational things this year, all the things I've been studying and researching. So I'm not seeing any of your questions, so I hope that I have supported you, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys sometime this week. I try to go live at least 3 times a week, so this is the first live for the week. If you know, you'll know when I go live if you are on my email list, and if not, check my stories. Be looking out for me. I try to go live in the mornings. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day, or afternoon, because right now it's the afternoon, but I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Rest up, be safe if you are traveling, and peace, y'all. I'm out.